Hi, this is Rachelle at Journal Life's Journey, and I am going to be working on a Vlogtober, Spooktober project. I am making a micro disc bound cover, but I'm making it to work with the larger rings, the expansion rings. I'll put all the measurements of the chipboard in the description box below, but what I have done is I had some medium weight chipboard that was given to me. I think they're 10 by 10 sheets, and I don't know what weight they are or what width they are as far as the thickness, but they are I would consider a medium chipboard, a little bit heavier than cereal box. So I was going to use these pieces for something else, and I glued together 4 layers for the front cover, the back cover, and the spine. So that made them pretty thick, which I like. But again, I'll put all the measurements below. Here I am trimming up some cardstock because I'm gonna need 2 pieces to wrap the chipboard. 1 piece was not long enough. So I'm gonna take my 1/4 inch score tape, and I'm gonna put these 2 pieces that I trimmed down together in order to wrap the chipboard. So in this video, I know I'm out of frame quite a bit. I had a little snafu with my camera rig, and my cat must have knocked it over, and so I'm still trying to get it back to where it was, trying to adjust everything to get it back. But here I'm going ahead and putting those 2 pieces together. Now I'm just lining up my chipboard pieces, making sure I leave a space in between the spine and the covers so that when it folds, it doesn't put pressure on the paper or stress the paper and cause the paper to rip. I usually try to leave double the thickness of the chipboard in between the 2 pieces of chipboard. So for instance, if my chipboard is 1/8 of an inch thick, then I try to leave a 1/4 inch in between. So here I am adding some PVA glue, not so neatly, and I'm using a makeup spatula from Dollar Tree to spread out the glue. And so I am placing the spine piece in the center as best as I can without measuring off the whole thing. So but here I'm going ahead and adding the PVA glue to the other piece. And here I'm adding the glue to the last piece of chipboard. And I just have my miter ruler or miter guide. It's not actually a ruler. I had it down at the bottom to kind of give me a guide to make sure I'm lining the pieces of chipboard up as straight as possible. So now I'm going to go around the edges of the cardstock with the 1/4 inch score tape. And I could have used a wider double-sided tape to do this, but I want to go ahead and use this 1/4 inch score tape because it's getting old and I don't want it to go bad. So, and I'm just burnishing down those pieces of tape. And now I'm going to go around the chipboard pieces, the outside edges, with the score tape. Burnishing that tape down as well. And now I'm just going to go around the edge of the chipboard with my bone folder to kind of put a little bit of a score in the cardstock. And here I'm using my corner miter tool to mark off where I need to trim off the corners. And that tool is not a necessity. If you leave about 1/8 of an inch or a little less when you miter your corners, you should be fine if you do it by hand. You just don't want to cut or miter your corners too close to the chipboard, or you won't have neat corners and you may possibly end up with your chipboard being exposed on the corners. So here I'm removing the backing from the tape, and I'm working on the long sides first. So I'm adding the PVA glue to the cardstock where there was no tape, just to make sure that everything gets glued and stays in place. So I'm using the momentum and weight of the piece to fold it over and get a clean fold on that long side. And I'm going to repeat the process on the other long side, removing all the backings from the tape. And adding the PVA glue to the cardstock, using the piece to fold it over. And let's try it one more time. Make sure that it sticks, give it a chance to stick. And now I'm just going to take my bone folder and run it through the space in between to start training that cardstock, getting it ready to fold. And wiping up any excess glue. And I'm going to start on the short ends, removing the backings, adding PVA glue, and I'll link to all the supplies that I used to create this in the description box below. I just press down my corners and I use the piece once again as the guide to fold over. I'm repeating the process on the other short end, removing the backings, pressing down my corners, making sure they're going to fold cleanly, and adding the PVA glue. That is the first step in preparing a cover, and you can use this for junk journals, handmade journals, if you're making books, anything that you need a cover for. That is the basics of the process. Make sure you subscribe and turn on your notifications so that you don't miss future parts to this series. Thanks for watching, and I'll holla at y'all next time. Bye.